In today's video I will review this new bench that I did buy for the purpose of working out at home. So it is from Poland, it's a Polish bench and it's called the Kelton HL1 Tryton bench. And basically I have upgraded my old bench to this new one and I wanted to make this video and I will highlight you the pros and cons of this bench. I will review the whole Kelton series and basically I will tell you my reason why I did buy this bench in particular, and also I will tell in general the guidelines what you should be looking after when you are deciding on buying a bench for working out at home. So before starting the review of the new bench, I want to show you my old bench and tell you the reasons why I have decided to switch it to a new one. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to do it right now. I would appreciate it a lot. So this is my old setup on which I used to bench. I have here a movable rack for the barbell and I'm doing mainly here the barbell bench press, and I have used this bench right here. As you see, it's written here Meteor, but I did buy this bench many years ago. I think it was like 8 years ago that I did buy it, and it did cost at that time with delivery, I checked, about 80 to 85 euros. And yeah, so basically as you can see, this is how the bench is looking like. Here it's from metal, but it's very light metal, aluminum I think. And here you can see you have here 2 pins and you can put them in to secure the position. So basically this is the position for keeping it flat, and you can also set it to incline or decline mode, but I will not show you this right now. And basically the main reason why I decided to switch this bench out was in the specification. The max weight that you can load this bench with is 150 kgs. And I used to bench right here 105 kgs. At the body weight close to 100 kgs. So in total I was putting about 200 kgs on this bench, and it's already above the specification norm. So I was already putting way too much load on it than it was written in the specification, and I wanted to increase my bench even more. My goal is to bench pre-plate sides, so that would be 140 kgs, and if I was benching at the body weight of 100 kgs, then the total weight on the bench would be 240 kgs, which is about 100 kgs over its maximum capacity. So that was my main reason for switching it out. But all these things aside, it was a pretty decent bench. So what I really did like about this bench was it was still stable for the price, and I couldn't complain about it. But basically the main reason was I was just not trusting here this structure if I would go to a free plate side bench and at a heavier body weight. So overall the bench is pretty stable when it's on the ground. So here it doesn't sway side to side, it's stable, and when you are picking it up from the ground, then you can see it's also pretty decent. Here the metal constructions are a little bit loose, but overall in my opinion it's quite a decent bench, quite sturdy. But basically my main concern was when I would be benching here and it would be too much weight pushing here, it will basically collapse. And having a heavy load here crashing on my chest was not a good idea at all. So I decided to buy a new bench, and the main requirement was that the bench would be very sturdy and it should hold at least minimum of 300 kgs of weight. And it should be similar to this construction because I was already used on benching on it, so I wanted to have similar dimensions. And if we are talking about dimensions, I think the most important one is to keep in mind the seat height. So I mean from the ground to the seat level, how many centimeters you have. So if I'm measuring here, you can see it's about 51.5 centimeters. So here you can see a little bit closer up. and it's about at this level, 51.5 centimeters. And I did want that the height of the new bench, the seat, would be at a similar position. If it would be any higher than that, about 60 centimeters right here, then I would be having problems of having the proper setup, and basically it would be just too high for me. And if it was lower, about 40 centimeters, the seat, then it would be just too low. And basically I cannot position the leg drive perfectly. So 60 would be too high for me, 40 would be too low, and the perfect spot also for competition benches, I think it's somewhere between 42 to 47, and at the very max, like this Meteor one bench, where I have here 51.5. Then of course we have the dimensions of the backrest, and I didn't want that it would be any narrower than this. So if we are measuring the width here, so it's about 29 to 30 centimeters, and I didn't want a narrower one. And if we are measuring the total length of the bench, it's at about 112 centimeters. So basically these were the requirements for the new bench. It should hold at minimum 300 kgs, and it should be of sturdy construction and be to similar dimensions that my old bench, in which I have already been accustomed to benching at home. So the main important thing is the measurements of the backrest, pretty much same length, same width, and of course the same seat height. So after searching online, I did stumble upon mainly two companies, one which was called Marbo, it's also from Poland, and the other one Kelton. And after comparing the two benches, I have decided to get the Kelton HL1. And this is the new bench, the Kelton HL1. I already did show you a quick introductory video of how it looks all around, and I did show you two exercises. I did already bench and the leg curl on it, and now first of all I want to start with the dimensions of it. And here you can see the height of the seat is about 53 centimeters. So here you can see a little bit closer, about 53, a little bit more, but when you push it down, it comes down to 53 centimeters, and my old one was 51.5. So this one is just a little bit higher. Now, if we are talking about the backrest, the width of it, it's a little bit narrower. It's about 28 centimeters, so about 1.5 centimeters it's narrower. And the length of the bench, here we can see it's about 117. So it's like 5 centimeters more longer in length. So overall the dimensions are pretty similar to my old bench, but the difference is you can put here more kilograms of load. So in the specification online it did mention that the tested weight was 350 kilograms of load on the bench. I also did find a YouTube video of Kelton, and they have tested also 500 kgs on the bench and it didn't break. Also, I have tested myself here of how much weight it can hold. I will show a video, and I have put here on the bar 138 kgs, then here on the front another like 10 to 15 kilograms, and then my own body weight, which at this particular time was about 84 kilograms. And as you can see, the bench didn't break. So I ordered the bench online, and with delivery it did cost me 150 euros, and basically it came with the frame separated from the backrest and here the seat. So the frame was here already intact, and all I had to do was to attach the legs to the frame. So this was separated, and here I had a metal screw and I have fixated it, and here same at the front. This piece was detached from the legs, so I had to insert here, and we have here 2 screws. And this is the accessory attachment. I will talk about it a little bit later. but I had to order these 3 parts separately. So the Kelton bench came without these 3 pieces. So we have here the knob, plastic piece, and here the pin in which you can secure the weight. And here you can attach some accessory devices, but I will talk a little bit later about them. And as I did mention, this was not secured. So I will show you here the back side now of it. So this is how the bench is looking upside down. And here I had to secure the seat with the metal frame with such screws. So you have here 1, 2, 3, 4, and also 4 here for the seat. And here the material is some type of wood. And here the backrest was secured with 6 screws on each side. And the thing that I didn't like was that the markings for the holes were not marked here on the backrest. So I had to check out online of how more or less it should be attached. On the instruction it was also not clearly written where should I put these screws exactly, in which position. So basically overall the assembly was pretty easy. All you had to do was attach here the legs, and the difficult part was measuring out here the backrest and seat positions. And overall, if we are looking here at the construction, it's quite durable. The metal is, I think, a little bit better quality than my last bench, and here the backrest is fixated with in total 12 screws, and here you have 2 pieces of metal that hold it, so I think it's quite decent. So overall the bench is of pretty good quality, and some cons that I see is, for example, it sways a little bit side to side. So here you can see it shakes a little bit side to side. Of course my floor is not that even, but the last bench it didn't sway that much side to side. And here you don't have pads made of rubber, so if you have a wooden floor like mine, it slides a little bit, but still it's decent. And overall, if I'm looking at the construction from the side, and I imagine benching here 3 plates with a body weight of, let's say, 85 kgs, then the construction is pretty durable, it should hold. And my only concern is this part right here. So as you can see, the front of the backrest is put only on this part right here, so it holds on this metal. And if this thing breaks, for example, then it will just collapse. Everything will collapse and the weight will fall on your chest. So if we are looking closely here, it inserts in these metal pins here. So this is the last one, and as you can see, this is how it looks like. And basically it's welded here into the metal. There's a little bit gap in here, but basically all this piece is holding the weight at the end of the day in the front. So it should be able to hold here the 3-plated side 140 kgs, and let's see my body weight up to 100 kgs. So 250 kgs rests alone on this metal part here. So all we have to do is pray that it's durable. But yeah, the tested weight was 350 kilograms, and in the video you did see also 500 kilograms was put on the bench and it didn't break. But I did think about the solution of how I could stabilize this part right here. And I will show you a little bit later another bench in the heavy series of the Kelton benches. It got here a stabilizing part, but this one didn't have. And my solution was stabilizing it a little bit myself, in particularly when I was benching heavy weights here. So another bench in the Kelton series, in the heavy series, it did have here another metal piece that was attaching here to the leg and into the backrest, and it was here vertically, and as you see here, it's nothing. So It would be very good if I would have here, let's say, a metal piece or some construction that would attach here to the backrest and then attaches either to the ground or to the leg. And the bench would be then held in two spots. One was on this metal that it had originally, but then it would have also here this vertical support. So it would be holding here vertically and from this side. And worst case scenario, let's say this part breaks here and it collapses, and then we would have here the second vertical part that still holds the bench. So my solution was like follows. It was placing a wooden chair underneath it. So I had here this chair, which has basically perfect dimensions and is fitting under the bench. And as you can see, the chair is very sturdy in itself. It did cost around 80 euros, so it's very stable. It has here 4 legs, and here you can see it attaches here to the backrest very closely. So if I'm putting a lot of weight here, it presses into the chair and the chair holds the backrest. And as you can see, it stands firmly on the ground. So yeah, it looks a little bit unconventional, the setup, but when I will be benching, let's say, over 100 kgs, then for safety reasons I can do such a setup. And then I have not only the support from here, but then I have here this vertical support. And basically when I will be putting here a lot of weight on the bench, the chair will also do its job. So I have here additional support, and worst case scenario, it could save my life. But anyways, the bench, it should hold the 315 and my own body weight without major problems. So all things considered, what I didn't like about the bench was that it didn't have any markings here for screwing the backrest to the metal. Also, I didn't like that the vertical piece was not here for support. Basically the series didn't have it. And also I don't like in particular that the bench is swaying a bit from side to side. And when I was putting here the bar of 138 kgs and I tried to sway it to side, then it puts here quite a lot of stress on the backrest, and my concern is that it will break. You did see from the bottom, in each side it was secured with 6 screws. So it should be still stable, and when I will be putting the chair underneath, I think it will not be a problem. So that's about the bench, and now I will talk about the attachment. So here at the end of the bench you can attach some attachments, and basically I did tell you my second reason for buying a new bench was having a solution for training hamstrings at home, and I really wanted to do the leg curl at home. So I had to buy this separately. It did cost me 100 euros, and now I will show how it attaches here. So first of all, you must buy these parts separately in the package. So you will get here the pin, then you have here the knob, and the knob pushes from that side and the pin from that side, and that's how the weight is secured. And then you have this plastic piece that attaches here. It's quite difficult to attach it at first, but all you have to do is push on the corner and then press it, and it will go in there. And now you take the leg curl attachment, and all you have to do is insert it here, and then you must slide here the pin to the side. So I'm attaching it here. It slides in. Then I am sliding in the pin here from the side, so it secures the attachment, and then I twist the knob here for extra security once again, so everything stays tight here. And basically this is how it looks like, and you can do here the leg curl. So you lay on the bench and then it moves like this. And also you can do leg extensions. If you put your legs here, you will push like this and you can do some leg extensions. And what I did like about this piece of equipment was here the place where the weights are attached. So the diameter of this was 25 millimeters, and I have here weights at home which have a diameter from here to here 30 millimeters, and I can already here put on the plates that I have. So I didn't need to buy separate plates in order just to do legs at home. So all in all, was it worth getting this attachment for training legs at home? I would say yes. The plus is that it's very easy to attach. You get this piece in the box, all you have to do is put in here, but then you must also have the equipment separately. The knob, the pin and the plastic piece will not come with the bench and not with the attachment. You have to buy it separately, keep that in mind. And the only downside that I see from this is when you are doing here the leg curl, so you are curling like this. Sometimes when you are at the end position, it gets stuck like this. So it doesn't go back down because the weights are holding it, and basically it's for mechanical reasons. But well, you are training at home here, so don't expect it to be perfect. So basically when you are doing here the leg curl, sometimes it gets stuck here. But basically, yeah, so you don't have to go that deep, and you will get used to training legs at home. So now I will switch to my computer screen and I will show the other options that I did think about, whether I should get a different bench from Kelton and also the competitor Marbo, and I will explain the reasons basically why I did buy this bench in particular. So this is the website of the Kelton gym equipment, and here you can click on Kelton Home right here, and we will start off with the benches. So we click here the benches, and we have all these benches available. So let's sort them by price, and we have here the benches. So let's start off with this one. It's the Kelton HL11. So this is it. This is how the bench is looking like. So this is the cheapest version that we can find. As you can see, it's a flat bench, but you can only set it to decline. So you cannot do the incline here. And it has the same dimensions as mine, but the reason why I didn't buy this bench was that you can only set it to decline, so you cannot do the incline. And here it's written in the specification the seat height. So here the seat is only 40 centimeters in height. So as you can see here, the attachment for the leg curl is higher than the backrest. So 40 centimeters is just too low for me. So in general, for benching, I wouldn't recommend this bench because you can only set it to a decline and the seat is, in my opinion, too low. Well, depends on the person, but I am pretty tall, so for me it was out of the question. Then the next bench is the Kelton HL1. So this was the bench that I did buy myself. As you can see, it looks exactly like mine, and here you can set it from flat all the way to incline. And here are some pictures. I did judge from this picture right here how the backrest should be secured with the screws, and basically these are the dimensions, and they are exactly like I have shown you in the video. And here you can see that the tested durability was 350 kilograms. But if we return to the last bench, the HL11, the decline, here you can see that the tested durability was 350 kgs plus the weight of the practitioner, so the weight of the person. So I think it should be also here pretty similar. It should hold up to 500 kgs, and I did show the video where it was tested. So basically, yeah, I did buy this bench here, and I explained the reasons why. Then we have the Kelton HL6. So this is a decline bench, and I needed a flat bench, so this was also not an option for me. Then the next bench is the Kelton HL12, and I have also debated that I maybe should buy this one. As you can see, it secures here with the pins like my old Meteor bench, and it has here two straight legs, so the weight rests on it, and it looked a little bit more sturdier. But the backrest here, you can see it attaches to the same way, and here the metal construction, when it's at 90 degrees straight, it did look to me like it should be more stable. And you can set it to incline modus once again, and it's secured here with these metal pins. And overall similar dimensions, but the reason why I didn't buy the bench was once again the seat height. It was only 40 centimeters, so 40 centimeters is just too low for me. Then we have here the Kelton HL4. So this is similar to the bench that I did get. Here the front part is exactly the same. The seat is a little bit different. It secures here in the 3 pins, but the construction is the same. And the main reason why I didn't buy this bench was there was no attachment for the lacquer accessory. So the seat height was 52 centimeters, and overall similar construction, but it didn't have the attachment for the lacquer, so that's why I didn't buy it. Then we have the Kelton HL2 and HL3, and both of these benches have here the rack attached. So I didn't buy it because I did have a rack of my own already, and basically, yeah, both of these benches have this rack attached, and I just don't need the rack. So these were not an option for me. And basically from the Kelton Home series, the HL1 made the most sense. And then we have here the Kelton Heavy series, also the benches. Let's sort them by price once again. And I have debated very long to buy this Kelton HL9. So from all the benches, this was looking like the best bench for me. It's very similar to the bench that I did buy, the Kelton HL1, but the only difference from this picture right here is here the front part. So this is the vertical stabilizing part. Otherwise, pretty much the same. Here you can set it to incline, and here it is. So that's the part where I did talk about, where I did place the wooden chair so it could stabilize here at the bottom, at the leg, and here at the frame. So I really wanted to have this piece right here so I can bench safely, free plate side without any faults at all. But well, I didn't get the bench because it had one downside, which I will tell you soon. So here the backrest is secured the same way. The only difference is here the additional security vertically. And this is the reason why I didn't get it. Here the height of the seat is 60 centimeters. So if we are scrolling down to the specification, I almost did order this bench, but then at the last second I did see here seat height 60 centimeters, and it's just too high. I did test on my old bench, which had a seat height of 51.5 centimeters, so I placed at the very bottom some boards to heighten the seat to 60 centimeters, and I tried to lay on the bench and I couldn't get any leg drive, so I was way too high, and here 60 centimeters is just too much. So yeah, unfortunately it looked very good on the picture, but that's the reason why I didn't buy it. And then we have another bench here, HL13, but it's decline. Then we have this HL10. This is also quite a decent bench. The only difference is here it doesn't have any lacquer attachment, but here you have the additional security. And yeah, the seat height is here only 52 centimeters. So yeah, seat height 52 centimeters like the HL1, so perfect. So only if I would need to bench 315 free plate side, then I would get this bench right here, because it has here the extra security. But I really wanted to do the leg curl at home, and this didn't have the attachment, so that's why I didn't buy it. And then we have here the benches with the racks attached. So here the HL7, HL9, HL14 heavy benches, all with racks attached. Also not an option for me. While looking through all the benches, that's why I decided to buy the HL1. Now, if we are talking about the competitors, here is the Marbo Sport Bench and the MSL101. So I almost did buy this bench, and here on the picture you can see how it looks like. So it has here the leg curl attachment. Overall looks pretty decent, pretty stable. You can set it to incline, you can set it here to decline. Overall looks like a good quality bench. Almost I did buy it, but then I did check here the reviews. And if I click here on the reviews, and I did find a couple of reviews that were a deal breaker for me. So we have here a couple of reviews, and basically many people did mention a problem here with the backrest. So here you can see the backrest, and it's similar to my backrest, the Kelton one. On my backrest, it's attached to the metal frame with 12 screws in total. And here, look, you have only 6 screws. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The whole backrest is attached with only 6 screws. And on the Kelton one, the HL1, it's attached with double of it, 12 screws. And still, when I'm twisting it from side to side while placing a heavy load on it, it doesn't feel 100% stable. So if we would have only 6 screws like on the Marbo one, then it would just break off. And some of the people have reported that it did break off. So overall the bench looks pretty good, pretty similar, same leg attachment, I think same seat height, and yeah, it can hold up to 300 kilograms, but with such a system where the backrest is only attached with 6 screws, this was a deal breaker for me. That's why I didn't buy it, and I'm very glad that I didn't buy it. And now to finish off the series, we have here the equipments. So here you can attach, for example, a leg blocker, so you can do abs, I think. Then you can attach here a breacher curl, so you can do bicep curls at an angle. Then you can attach here the leg curl that I did get. You can also do here the leg extensions. You can also attach here a pull down bar, so you can do lat pull downs. So yeah, it's pretty versatile, and in my opinion, for me personally, the only useful piece that I did find was the leg curl. And of course you must order here the additional parts, as I did show you. Here's the knob, here's the pin, and here's the plastic piece. And then you are set to bench and train at home. So this was the review of the Kelton HL1 Tryton bench that I did buy for myself. And I did show you also some other benches, why I didn't buy them. I did show the competitor Marbo. I did show what accessories you can attach. And my conclusion is I would rate from 0 to 10 this bench at the solid 8, I think. The downside is that this bench, the HL1, doesn't have the vertical support. Then the backrest shakes a little bit from side to side, but still it's attached with 12 screws, so it should be okay. And the leg curl attachment, when you are going all the way up, it gets stuck from time to time, so you have to push it down. So the bench I would rate 8 out of 10, so you get a decent quality for a decent price. And the leg curl attachment I would rate also a 8 out of 10. -1 because it gets stuck on top. And another minus point, it still shakes a little bit, so even the pin and the knob doesn't secure it 100%. So this was today's video. I hope you have enjoyed watching it, and see you soon next time. Bye.